they are much in number in statistics than people that may
people who would tolerate pain.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's actually very easy to influence someone with pleasure, because with that pleasure, then the person who is influencing the other person with the pleasure has an ulterior motive, because he knows nobody will taste sugar and spew it out.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're also saying that people who are easily controlled by pleasure are not even aware that they're being controlled by pleasure.
Yes, because whoever is doing that is doing that for an ulterior motive. Definitely, so the person who is doing that to the other has something he is up to.
Okay. Are you also insinuating that it's possible that the presence of pain might not necessarily be a bad thing, even though people seem to run away from it?
Actually, everything, when it's pain, when you talk about pain, pain has to go with force.
Not necessarily. Sometimes you shout at... No, it's not. It doesn't go with force. Sometimes you can shout at your kid and you haven't hit them just yet. You haven't applied force. You're just shouting at them.
Actually,
or you're warning them.
Though actually, there are different kinds of pains. You have emotional pains. You have different kinds of
Exactly.
pains. Anyhow it goes. But, it's easier. That's where I stand. It's easier to control someone with pleasure. Just like as we all generally in the whole world now, they introduce phone.
Yeah.
All of us know what exactly it is.
Yeah.
Despite the fact it has it controls our mental well-being.
You believe it controls our mental Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Because this is going somewhere.
A lot of people have been addicted to it.
Yeah.
Which they cannot do without it. So if the whole world now shut down the whole phone and say, okay, nobody should have access to a phone now, then you discover what I mean. Because everybody has developed an interest and everything about it is surrounding.
You're also insinuating that if something else is controlling us, for example, the phones that we use and the things we see on the phone, you're also implying that the decisions that we're making is not even our decisions. They're a function of influence.
Of course.
Oh, there we go. Well, look.
Of course.
Oh.
That is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You and I cannot deny that fact.
Well,
because a lot of people cannot do without it. A lot of people cannot sleep without it. A lot of people cannot go anywhere without it.
This is fantastic then. Look, you have quite a point.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, I do. Thank you.
This is where we have to understand that this world, the majority of us have been removed.
Okay, fair. All right.
Oh, yes, of course.
Thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it. So he's saying something. If you make a case for pleasure, you're nearly insinuating that if pleasure is the means by which a person can be successfully controlled, then the one who is being controlled has lost autonomy. So his actions or her actions or reactions are a function of influence. So if you love pleasure, well, this is your day. If you make a case for pain, you're also suggesting something, that people avoid pain for... I'm not sure. I'll wait for you to bring it to me. The Sunny Side. We'll be right back. Being in your feelings, yeah, orgy-porgies, and everything else that just looks a little chaotic and difficult for a man to comprehend. The Sunny Side, the Lords of Logic, pleasure or pain. Which is the best tool for control? Let's hear you. Nigeria Info, good afternoon to you. The volume of your radio set, thank you. The Sunny Side, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Auntie Joy.
Good afternoon, lady. Welcome. What's your name?
My name is Sarah. I'm the lady that you have to send account number. I'm so sorry to disturb your show.
Well, okay, great. What about it?
Yes, I sent the account number. I've not seen anything. I don't know if the number did not go or the phone because that's why I'm calling.
Were you called? Were you called?
Yes, I was called in the morning.
So the person said he was going to send the money to you, and I hope he does.
Okay, no problem. I just want to know if you send the account number, that's all.
Yeah.
God bless the giver.
Thank you. Thank you. The Lords of Logic, good afternoon to you.
Hello, Joy.
Welcome, Nigeria Info. You tell us your name, you go ahead.
Austin here.
Good to have you here. Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to look at it from this angle, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now, from the world angle, let's take a look at governments now. We have different governments operating with different patterns and ruling with different patterns. We have the democratic rule, right?
Go ahead.
We have dictatorship rule.
people who enforce their opinions on the people, right? Now, I think with these two perspectives, we can already see what's been happening up to this point. Now, with dictatorship, we can look at it from this angle that, okay, governments that have been operating through this system, how successful have they been? When you intend to enforce your opinion on people, like giving it to them in a way that is unjust, what will be their reaction? Of course, for the meantime, you can have their attention, you can rule over them, you can, enforce your opinion, you can be successful for the meantime, right? But it is not permanent, it will last.
So what's permanent for time? You have to help us with a good summary.
Yeah, to have a permanent, to have a successful,
control.
You have to entice them. You have to use,
pleasure.
Other than pain, pleasure.
Pleasure.
Right? Now we take a look at democracy now. You allow people to vent their opinion, allow them to have an illusion of their own mind, like give them that illusion that they have their own feeling and their own opinion.
Yeah.
But you have other ways to control them.
Okay.
That's successful in my own opinion.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I do appreciate you calling in. Yeah, I'm here.
I want Praise Jam ticket on WhatsApp. I've been trying to get my email across to you.
Oh, good God of heaven. Look, I need an extra pair of hands. I can't deal with that today. Maybe next week.
I've been trying.
What's your name?
Austin Chukuma.
Okay, so your number ends with 533. Yeah, let's do this next week, all right?
Okay, yes.
All right, I'll remember that.
All right.
Thank you. Hey, the Lords of Logic, good afternoon to you. Sorry I lost you. If you make it back, the sun is out this side of heaven. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you. Welcome, the Lords of Logic.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Welcome, lady. Tell us your name. You go ahead.
Please, what I just want to say is this. To people who want to use pain, they will never want pain to be inflicted on them. But to those who want pleasure, if you use pleasure on them, they are good to go. That is the truth. Those who can say you will use pain on others, when you use pain on them, they won't like it. So the best method on this earth is pleasure.
All right, thank you. So I also want to suggest here, that's also to indicate that if you're also going to call in after now, it will be necessary for you to have already considered that if you say, for example, pleasure, well, the undertone of that is that the one who is being controlled by pleasure is not in full control of his agency. Well, he does look like a free man. He speaks like a free man. He can go out there and pick a color of shirt and a type of shoe and choose a woman, but every of his decision is a function of manipulation. Well, you can agree or disagree. Let's hear what you have to say on the Lords of Logic. Control or pleasure or pain? The best tool for control. Now remember to also consider in this context, control isn't necessarily a good thing. Actually, in every context, except as a child, control isn't necessarily a good thing. So let me hear your opinion. Nigeria Info, the Lords of Logic. I lost you. If you make it back early enough, the sun's here on the sunny side. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome, Nigeria Info, the sunny side. What's your name?
Dennis.
Welcome, Dennis.
Yeah, so, Joy, Joy wouldn't feel so good without some pain?
Joy wouldn't feel so good without pain?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
People fail to understand that as a human, you need to
go through pain?
Pain.
Okay.
And experience pleasure.
Wait, are you saying that the opposite of pain is pleasure? Like at the end of the spectrum of pain is pleasure?
Sure, yes, that's what I'm saying.
Do we agree with that?
I feel to control people, if you have that feeling at the back of your mind, what pain feels, you will be able to have your subconscious control about whatever you do.
So are you saying that pain is a good, are you saying control is a good thing?
Well, it's in two ways.
Would you like to be controlled in any way?
Well, pleasure does the same thing.
No, I'm asking you a question. Would you like to be controlled in any way? Pain, pleasure? Would you like to be would you like someone else in charge of your own agency?
No, not at all.
So why are you saying there are two ways to it now?
Well,
Something you won't like. All right.
the argument you're trying to establish here. So I'm making a point.
No, but you see, the whole essence of the conversation is that you give me a personal point of view. That's how I know that I'm in conversation with you.
I'm going to give you a personal point of view. That means I'm caught up between pleasure and pain.
No. So whose point of view did you give me earlier on before?
Yeah, like you can't experience pleasure without pain.
So
You don't feel so without some sort of pain. Remember that, okay, I've been through this, then I've overcame whatever I've been through. Then the joy in there, like you
okay.
remember the pain.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have some sort of control.
All right.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. Do me a favor, my friends. When you call in, give me your point of view. That has been a tradition since the Sunny Side started. It has got to be your point of view. It's the only way I'm in conversation with you. You can't think for the man behind you, so you can't speak for him. The Lords of Logic, welcome to the show. Hey, how are you? The volume of of your radio set?
Okay, I'm doing that.
Thank you. Welcome. Go ahead.
Okay. Pleasure is what is mostly used to control people. And control is not a good thing.
Okay. Well, that's straightforward.
Control is not a good thing. So people use pleasure a lot. It's even in the Bible. People use pleasure yes. People use pleasure a lot to control people and nations. Take for instance, in some countries, in the Western countries, that's
Yeah.
what they do. Their citizens are so patriotic because they have almost everything.
Okay.
Somebody was in this country, they took light, he thought he went blind because he had never seen darkness before. Even when I traveled to overseas, I went out in the night around 12 a.m. I thought it was afternoon.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
thought it was afternoon. That was the first time I traveled anyway. That's why I was thinking that way.
Yeah.
So their leaders have been able to influence or to control them and make them patriotic.
And
Look at
passive.
Ukraine, what is happening in Ukraine?
Okay. Oh, okay.
They are so patriotic because their leaders, they have made them that way by giving them so many things, amenities, they enjoy their life, and when trouble came, they stood by the leaders. They stood by them.
Okay. So which is...
So I was watching how men left their wives, dropped their wives in Poland, and come back to fight for their country.
Fair. Okay. All
I
right.
was imagining, can this kind of thing happen in Nigeria?
I guess.
Men
Yeah.
be free with their wives.
You can't blame a
They
brother.
don't free if they don't have the chance to go out to Poland. Finish. They will not come back.
Well, thank you.
They said bye-bye, kissed their wives, and went back to Ukraine to fight for their country.
Okay.
That's what we are talking about.
Thank
That
you.
is why I am able to tell you that is based on my argument that pleasure controls people.
But you also said it's not a good thing. So it sounds as though, well...
It's that in that way. It's
Yeah.
a positive thing somehow.
Oh.
So it's in that way.
Okay.
But there are some pleasures also. People also use pleasure
All right.
to control too in a negative way.
All right. Look, thank you very much for calling. You've made quite a good point. I do appreciate you calling into Nigeria Info. You're on the Sunny Side. Hello, welcome to the show.
Afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon to you. It's good to have you here.
This is Emmanuel.
Welcome, Emmanuel. So, pleasure or pain?
The best way to control anybody's pleasure.
Okay.
Because when you use pain, the person will notice faster that he's being controlled.
Oh.
You know, and there's a possibility of reaction.
Uh-huh.
Resist the control.
Yeah.
You know, but when you use pleasure, if he sink deep into his head and feel he's enjoying life, he's free, but he or she won't know he's being controlled.
Is it possible to destroy a person by giving them pleasure?
Very, very possible.
Actually, maybe it's even more possible than we're willing to admit.
Very, very possible. I don't know if there is time. I would have given you an instance.
Oh, no, we don't have enough time on the clock.
Okay.
But look, you've done a fantastic job summarizing your point of view.
Pleasure is the easiest way to control anybody and make the person sink deep into what you want.
Is control a good thing in your opinion?
No, never.
All right, thank you very much. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the Sunny Side. It's the Lords of Logic. And my name is Joyce.
Where are the Lords? This is the Lords of Logic on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
we continue with the conversation. We try to find out. Well, some of you might consider control. I don't know whether you think there's any part of controlling you that you think is fascinating, artistic, heavenly, brilliant, joyful, rewarding. I'm not sure. You would have to determine that. Plus, the topic is, what's the best tool for control? Pleasure or pain? Because if you say pleasure, then if you love pleasure, then you're a slave. That's the implication of that. If you're a pleasure seeker, well, do us all the favor of turning off the volume of your radio set. Your Nigeria info. My name's Joyce. What's your name?
Denise, good afternoon.
Afternoon to you.
Yes, please, I'm not for this. I've been listening, but I love it. But I just want you to explain. Every time you keep telling us happiness that you don't support, people, you need to be happy. So you have a problem with that. You've never told us why.
Well, we're sorry, bring it back. What did you say? I told you what?
You've always been saying you need to be happy. That's what the society thinks. Happiness, you need to be happy. You must be happy. But you've always told us you have a problem with that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I have a problem. Oh, yeah.
Ever since I've been listening, you've not said
why.
Yes.
Okay.
Let us know why. Because every time we go anywhere we go to, auntie will say, you need to be happy. You just have to be happy.
No, that's
Are you
correct.
married? You need to be happy. But you say you don't confirm that you are not. Please tell us why.
Okay, sure, I will. But can I do this next week? Have I lost it? Can I do it next week, please? Because, today I don't have so much time for the Lords of Logic. So, if I can today, probably. But I promise you next week if I don't do it today.
Okay.
You're kind. Thank you. Well, yeah. Well, okay, let's just move on. The Lords of Logic, my name's Joyce. Hi. The volume of your radio set. No, honey. The volume of your radio set needs to go down.
I've done that.
Thank you. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
My name is Agbola from Adekunle.
It's good to have you here. Pleasure or pain, the best tool for control, Agbola?
I think pain.
Pain? Okay, why?
Because look at Nigeria politicians. If they want to go to power, they will come to you with bag of rice. There is pleasure. So after that, they will take to power and then pain to people.
Okay.
So I think there's just so much to come that we don't have anything to give you people. They don't to come in pain. So later they'll just give us pleasure. That's what I think.
All right, fair then. But in your life, when you look at your life, have you determined any facts? Have you separated some fact from fiction in your life? What do you prefer, pleasure or pain? Do you even like control? Because if you say you don't like control, then it means you're willing to take responsibility. And some responsibility is painful. Or maybe not painful in that sense, but it requires you to not just be aware, but to be willing to subject yourself to something.
There's another thing here. Look at it in this way. When you're not in health, that you don't even well. So you go to hospital, then they give someone injection in hospital.
Okay.
So that injection pain. So we have it like a toy phone. I know that pain.
Wait, you're comparing injection pain to what a psychological pain will be or emotional pain will be?
It's not a pain.
Injection? No. Injection? No. Are you afraid of injections?
We are afraid of injection.
I think as you...
I had a friend that he wanted to be able to be crying like a baby. He's over 35 years now.
Yo, well, that's a different conversation all by itself. But look, thank you very much for calling.
Thank you.
I'll never ever consider injection pain. Never. Have you heard people get heartbreak and die? 99.3 Nigeria info. Oh, wow. You think that's painful? The sunny side. I get it. That's a phobia for needles. Hey, the sunny side. Oh, welcome to the show. My name's Joyce. What's your name?
Hi, Joyce.
Hi, ladies. Welcome to the Lords of Logic on Nigeria Info. So.
Okay, so I think that pleasure is better control too, because I'll give you some instances. When you're playing a game and the reward or there's a reward at the end of the game,
Yeah.
you enjoy the game better than when the there's a consequence for failing. I don't know how
That's straightforward. Believe me, don't even explain yourself. That's even straightforward in itself. Okay, but you see, now that's a game, and that's a little external. That's outside of you. So you sound like a pretty girl. I don't know what your preference in men will be, but you sound like you would like to be spoiled rotten by a man who loves you.
definitely.
It's even the way you say it definitely that informs my next question. So would you stay with a guy who loves you so good, but he is just dust as far as character goes?
No.
No what?
No, I won't stay with a guy that
Would you be with a guy who's coming up? He has vision, he's straightforward, he's sane, a good head on his shoulders, of good conscience and intelligence, God-fearing, but he's not rich, but he's doing good, not bad at all, and there's a potential for the future to explode even bigger.
I can consider that.
As against the guy who has a Range Rover today, living in VGC, 24 hours electricity, flies business, has enough money for dinner every day. I used to date a guy who took us dinner every day. He didn't even want to
He
cook.
will not be giving me dinner every day if he has a bad character. So.
But wait, will you put up with a guy who takes you out, spoils you, but has a bad character? Yeah.
I wouldn't really.
You sure about that, honey?
I'm married.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can test you on that one.
Yeah. But the second thing I wanted to say, look at the rapping channel at NASDAQ DG.
Yeah.
There was something she did. She used pleasure to make her staff work really hard. I think she had a reward for a vacation overseas or something when you have brought a certain amount of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that channel was outstanding.
That's incentive. No, that's incentive. I'm talking about pleasure. The one men feel in their soul. The one that makes them do good or do evil.
Okay, so incentive cannot be considered.
Yeah, incentive is good. Incentive is good. But sometimes I think the best way to test a person is when you put it inside of them. It's like when you give a person power. It's like it does something to them psychologically. So that's the best part to look at the conversation from. What pain will do to someone psychologically, what pleasure will do to a person psychologically. Because it's when you stimulate them like that you get to see the other part of them.
I honestly think that incentive did something psychologically to those staff.
Yeah, you have a point. Yeah.
Before, and now what she had, she didn't have a change of staff.
Yeah.
Staff started catching all the bad.
Okay.
What do they call it? Fake drugs.
Yeah, it's control good. That's not control. That's why I'm saying that's not even a good example, because that's not control. That's just incentive. That's not control. No.
Anyway,
I don't. That's not control, because you can choose not to work. Yeah? You can choose. You can. Even you don't even have a choice. What if you never meet your target, but you work hard, but you just never met your target?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not really control. It's like all those bank marketers who they give 5 billion naira target.
True.
Yeah. So, well, look, thank you. Okay, great then. There you go. Thank you very much for calling. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Good day. You too. So we're speaking about control, the one that infuses reaction into men, so that the control has to be inside, or the means for control has to be inside of the man. A person can talk about pain, but you need to see them when they feel pain. So that's why I think that the best perspective would be to look at what these stimuli do to people when it's inside of them. It's like when you're in love. There's how you are when you talk about love. Then there's how you are when you're in love. You see, it's like two different things. Yeah, so let's talk about the one that you feel, the pleasure or the pain that a person can feel. Good. The Lords of Logic. Hi. Welcome to the show. Tell me your name. Can you hear me? What's your name? Hello, Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side. Welcome. Who, please? What's your name? Lord Val. Good to have you here. Thank you very much for calling. Go ahead.
The world of today, okay? There are always problems and there are solutions to problems.
Okay.
So the world,
you're breaking up so bad. Like, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, go ahead. Let's try.
Okay. I said the world today, there are problems and there are solutions.
Okay.
Problems will be shown to you, problems will be shown and solutions will be profiled. Now, the problems could be in form of pain in whatever situation, be it political, be it economical, be it financial, moral, whatsoever. Then,
No, did you hear the top? We're talking about control.
I know.
Okay.
Control. The
Okay.
control itself. The control itself. Before having that access to control, you must create a scenario where people identify that you are trying to offer them a solution to a problem that you
Okay.
have created or you have identified. So
Okay.
that's the way you control through that influence. So you provide solutions to a problem you've identified.
That's not necessary. No, that's not necessarily how it.
For you to have control.
Yeah.
For you to have control, somebody must see how would I put it?
The manipulator.
The relevance of the manipulator.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, they don't see the manipulator, they just see to identify the relevance of the manipulator. Okay, so for you to create that scenario where you see as being relevant, then they identify a problem and provide a solution. The solution could be any way. Like you said, pain and pleasure. The problem could be in form of pain, the solution comes in form of pleasure. That's what we're doing today.
So what's the answer to the question? What's the best tool for control? Huh? You said the blood of Jesus. What happened to Jesus? Leave Jesus out of this. What's the answer to the question? Okay, I think I cannot hear you. He said blood of Jesus. Imagine a brother. Hi. Nigeria Info. The Lords of Logic. Turn up the volume of your radio set. Good afternoon to you. Ooh.
Yeah, my name is Afis.
Good to have you here, Afis. Go ahead.
Yeah, according to what you were discussing, I believe to control somebody, pain and pleasure goes hand in hand.
Oh, I can. Let's see what you mean.
So it's like saying a man and a woman, which of them can stay on life. So because pain and pleasure goes hand in hand. When you suffer people a lot, so when you give them a little pleasure, you can control them.
What pleasure has the government given you in a while? What pleasure do you have?
Yeah. So let's say our road now. Sometimes the road is bad. People are complaining. People are saying, this road is bad. This road is bad for years. But during election time, you just see them. They will come with tracks and everything will start going smoothly. People will start feeling the pleasure.
That's not.
Be like, this government
What?
is trying. They will forget all the sufferness and they went on and vote. So during the election period, they will come to each and everybody. I'll give them 2,000, 4,000, give them a Sirika of rice. With this Sirika of rice, people will forget the hunger of 4 years.
Okay.
The pain that they've been going through for over 4 years, they'll forget it. So, and they will go with the pleasure. So without that pain that has come first, if you later bring the pleasure, if everybody is satisfied, if you later bring the pleasure, people will be like, what is it? So you won't be able to control us without that former pain. So, I believe
so do you realize that between your submission, you have practically eliminated the free will that a person has to choose, even the choice to suffer pain or pleasure?
Yes, that is the problem we have. So that is why control is bad.
All right.
You don't control people. So the moment you try to control people, you are taking their free will away.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay, that was good. The Lords of Logic, the sunny side. My name is Joyce. You'll be my final caller. Hi. Afternoon. It's good to have you here. Good afternoon. What's your name?
First time caller.
Welcome, first time caller. Pleases us to have you here.
UD.
Welcome, UD.
It is pleasure control people.
Okay.
Because they will bring out the freshness from them.
Sorry, I didn't get that. Could you please repeat it?
You use pleasure
Yeah.
to control people.
Yeah.
Because to make them stupid, to make them not to realize what you are doing to them.
I want to buy you a cup of coffee. That's a good way to end the show. Makes them stupid. For real? Are you sure about that stupid part?
Yes, that is all these northern elites they are doing. They use pleasure to control their people.
No, so that's your only reference. Can you look at the world? Can you even broaden your scope and look at the world? You think it's only applicable in the North? It's not. It's not. But no. I'm not minimizing your argument. I'm just saying that if, on a larger scale, it's the possibility of controlling the world via pleasure. It's not a northern. It's not only applicable in the north. It's actually, it can apply to the world.
Their own is obvious.
Okay.
Yes,
So, but you see, so the reason, if you do that, for example, it's like saying, well, if you look at only the north and you have east, west, south, and we're using pain to control them, then the argument should be that pain is a better control tool. You understand? Because if you compare population north and the rest of the country, well, we are more, or they're more this end of the divide. Does it make sense? Yeah, but you have a good argument, and I think maybe what's fundamental to your by your submission is that pleasure makes us stupid.
Yes.
And maybe we can't argue against that, really, except we have a superior argument. Thank you very much for calling. Look, bless you too. Love you too. Thank you. Well, that's a good way to end the show. Bye-bye. Loving.